Good morning. My name is Kathy Day. I'm a practitioner here at Center for Spiritual Living, Eugene. I will be leading our meditation this morning. If you are in need of prayer for any reason, please contact us at the center and connect with a practitioner. We are here to serve you. So right here and right now, I'd like you to relax. Let go of anything that's in your hands and just make yourself comfortable right where you are. Take a deep cleansing breath all the way down into your abdomen and release. As you're breathing in, you're accepting the gifts of the trees and the plants, which excrete carbon dioxide, or they excrete oxygen. And in your exhale, you are sending carbon dioxide, which your body does not require, to the leaves, the trees, the plants, the grass. This is one. This is the one that we are circulating our good and their good. Take another deep breath in. Hold it and then exhale. Plant your feet on the floor. Plant your seat where you are. Relax your head and your neck, your shoulders and your arms and your hands. Relax your back and your belly. Relax your hips and your thighs, your knees and your calves and your feet. Relax everything from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. We connect right now to the one love, the one life, the one power that expresses all life, all form, all substance. It is our life. We breathe in the love. And we breathe out any resistance that we have. We breathe in the love and breathe out resistance. In the center of our mind, we plant a seed of gratitude. We are grateful for all things great and small. We are grateful for running water. We are grateful for the simple and the great foods that we eat. We are grateful for our digestive system that takes this food and knows what to do with it to break it down for our body's use. What a miracle is that? We are grateful for the organs of the body that filter everything that we no longer require to be removed from the body. From our lungs to our livers to our kidneys. How perfectly they operate without a care from us. This is the divine intelligence from which we are born that knows what to do and how to do it. that knows how to press out a leaf on a tree and does it millions and billions and trillions of times each day. That knows how to, this power that knows how to create and hold the stars and the planets in place. That holds our planet in place in the perfect spacing between us and the sun so that we could create our perfect atmosphere for us to live. We are blessed. Take another deep breath in and exhale. Oh. We release any old ideas that no longer serve us, any ideas of fear or lack, or anger, blame, and resentment. We let it go, if only for this moment, to be in the peace of the divine intelligence. Take another breath in and release. What a joy it is to be alive. What a joy it is to know these teachings and know that whatever has occurred before this moment does not need to continue into the next. We plant a new seed for a new experience of life. We plant seeds of love and harmony. We plant seeds of peace and wisdom. And we know the creative medium acts upon them to make them manifest in our experience of life. We breathe in. We expand our lungs. And along with it, we expand our idea of what is possible for ourselves and for our world. For we know an opening to this greater vision, we also open to a greater experience. Breathe in. Love, love, love. And breathe out any resistance. We see in our mind's eye the beauty of nature surrounding it, the perfect ebb and flow of the ocean, the perfect cycles of spring and fall and winter and summer and spring. The cycle that keeps going without attention or care from us. Our heart beats without a care from us. How grateful we are for these autonomic processes that work on our behalf for our good. We accept our good in all the forms it takes. We accept our good. We allow for goodness to make itself evident in our life if it is not evident right here and right now. We set our mind's eye to see the beauty and the perfection of life. in the world that surrounds us, in the processes of our body, the processes of nature, to recognize the beauty and perfection in it all. We give thanks that we live in such a beautiful world, and we set our mind to see the beauty, to see more of the beauty, for the greater beauty of the world to be revealed to us. And in so doing, we give our mind a task to call our attention to the beauty and the good that surrounds us. We are opening to greater flow of the all good through each and every one of us. Breathe in, receive from the trees. Breathe out and give to the trees. We open to any messages that Spirit might have for us, anything to guide us and move us in the direction of our greater experience of life. And we know that Spirit responds. We relax and know that we are connected with one another, with Spirit, with all nature, with the whole cosmos. We are connected with us all. And the same power that created that all called us forth into being exactly who we are. We let go of ideas of comparison and competition and just be who we are, knowing that it is good enough, that you are enough, in everything you are, in everything that you do. Expand what you believe is possible. We don't have to know how things happen, how things resolve, in order to accept that they will. Breathe in the love. Breathe out gratitude. We center ourselves back in our body now. We wiggle our toes and our fingers, coming back into our bodies, knowing that this good work that we have done in consciousness will be made manifest in our experience of life. It is good and it is rich, and we are grateful. Thank you all for being here this morning. Namaste.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us today at Center for Spiritual Living Eugene. My name is Linda Finley. I am the spiritual director here, and I'm delighted that you could join us, whether you're joining us live right now or on a tape later. We're glad that you're here. And I would like to wish a happy Mother's Day to everyone. And by everyone, I truly do mean everyone, because there are those who give birth and there are those who nurture. And all of those are performing the act of mothering. So whether it is your own child or another's child or a pet or a plant or a garden or a home or a car, whatever it might be that you nurture and take care of, I honor you for that nurturing and caregiving spirit that dwells within you. So thank you, and I celebrate you. And I also celebrate Kathy Day for that amazing treatment or meditation this morning. She's going to be giving us a treatment shortly. But I do love the whole idea of realizing with our breath the very reciprocal nature we have with the universe. And also realizing, as she said right at the end, we don't have to know how it works. We only need to be aware that it works and to embrace that. So I want everyone to to really be thinking about the fact that whatever I set my mind on and whatever I talk about and think about becomes my reality. So if I'm spending most of my day grousing and complaining, perhaps the universe is hearing that as an order for more of the same. So maybe I could start thinking about how it is I would like it to be, what it is that matters to me, what it is that means something to me, and just see if maybe things don't change. Just a thought. Give it a try. That's all I'm asking. Just give it a try. We have our organization, the Centers for Spiritual Living Worldwide, has a global vision, which we put together, and it's how we see what it is we are working towards. And we've been reading a bit of that vision each week. We share a piece of it with you. We envision a world in which we live and grow as one global family that respects and honors the interconnectedness of all life. Every bit of life is interconnected. I love that idea that we breathe in the oxygen that the plants give us, and when we exhale carbon dioxide, they use that as food from us. That's an example of our interconnectedness with everything. We're not even aware of it, but it's what's going on. And that's how all of the connections that we have are functioning in us, through us, and as us. And we need to be aware everything I think, say, and do has an impact in the world around. Right now, I want to call back our beautiful Kathy Day, practitioner of the day, to do an opening treatment for the service today. Thank you, Kathy, and again, thank you for that lovely meditation.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure. So, right here and right now, we remember and acknowledge that there is only one life, one power, one presence. It is the divine, it is spirit, it is God, whatever name you give it. It is the oneness, the allness, from which all creation comes. So right here and right now, we know that this spirit moves through us, as us, and moves us into the direction of our good. And that is why we are here this morning. That is why we are gathered here this morning. We give thanks for everyone who has come together to facilitate this moment in time so that we might learn, that we might grow, that we might expand our idea of what and who we are, and what a joy that is, what a gift that is, to expand and grow and learn and know. I know that this service is inspired, creative, delightful, and so full of love. And I release this idea to the one loving source of all that is, knowing it is good enough to be true. And it is true right here and right now. Please join with me in saying, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you so much, Kathy. Science of Mind, Centers for Spiritual Living. I like to emphasize that our name says what we're all about. We're a place where we learn how to live from a spiritually centered way. And what that means is we're centers for spiritual living. We're centers for spiritual putting it to work, giving it a try, trying these principles, trying these tools, and putting them to work in our lives. We do have studies, we do have dialogues, we do have conversations, but we're not centers for spiritual study or centers for spiritual dialogue. We are centers for spiritual living. So everything that we do is not just to inspire us and say, oh, wow, that was really good, and I feel so much better now that I heard that, but to take the lessons that we learn and then put them to work in our lives, try them out, try them on for size, see how they fit. And see if that doesn't make a difference in what our world begins to look like. Well, one of the practices we have, one of the tools we have, is our monthly affirmation. Each month we take an affirmation, and every single week we repeat the same affirmation. And we're going to have it up on the screen here shortly so that you can see it from your wherever you're watching. And the practice is I will read it aloud once so you can just kind of ingest it. If you want to close your eyes, you may. If you want to follow along by reading it silently as I read it aloud, that's fine too. And then the second time, I'm going to imagine that all of you are reading it aloud with me, because there is a power in saying the words out loud. When I hear them in my own voice, they mean more to me than to just sit and read them. So right now, listen, and then we'll say it together. Every day and every moment is a living invitation to participate freely and fully in life. I am someone's answered prayer. Now let's say that together with feeling. Every day and every moment is a living invitation to participate freely and fully in life. I am someone's answered prayer. I really would like everybody to just that last line, if you could just own that, if each of us could just own that, if I could live my life as though I were someone's answered prayer, then I would see myself as the heart and the hands and the voice of God wherever I went. I would be that answered prayer in a life of service and compassion and caring. And speaking of someone amazing who does indeed live a life of service and compassion and caring, our musician today is that person. She and her husband are both the full embodiment of that. And I want to welcome for our gift of music today, the amazing, the world-renowned Haley Loren.
Happy Sunday, everybody, and happy Mother's Day. I wanted to do a song that I heard many years ago by Emmylou Harris, and it's called I Hear a Call. And to me, this song speaks to revolutionary love because it speaks to the idea of being called to love and answering it regardless of where you are and what you're doing and how convenient it might be. To me, that seems like pretty revolutionary. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. Again, it's called I Hear a Call. I hear a call, now will I answer? Forsake my all to serve another. The darkness falls, stay a believer. I hear a call, now will I see a light. Now will I follow, fill up this life that grows more hollow, make joy reside where there lives sorrow. I see a light. Now will I follow. I hear a call from out of nowhere, and from anywhere I go, I hear a call. Now will I answer. I feel a touch. Now will I hold on, be there with love for those with no one, with a kindness such it lives though I'm gone. I feel a touch. Now will I hold on. I hear a call from out of nowhere, and from anywhere I go, I see a light. Now will I follow. I feel a touch. Now will I hold on. I hear a call. Now will I answer. Thank you.
As always, Haley, thank you, thank you, thank you. So beautiful. How will I answer? That's kind of the title of today's talk, Revolutionary Love. That's how we'd like to answer. I'm going to open with a meditation from Mark Nepo. This quote is from Teobindu Upanishad. To direct the mind towards the basic unity of all things and to divert it from the seizing of differences. Therein lies bliss. The eye can see what we have in common or focus on what keeps us apart. And the heart can feel what joins us with everything or replay its many cuts. And the tongue can praise the wind or warn against the storm, can praise the sea or dread the flood. It's not that there are no differences. The world is made of infinite variety. Rather, it is the seizing of differences, the fearing of differences that keeps us from feeling grace. Paradoxically, everything in life touches the same center through its uniqueness. The way no two souls are the same, though every soul breathes the same air. When we fall into the illusion that one creation is better than another, we remove ourselves from the miracle of being and enter what the sage Sang San called the mind's worst disease, the endless deciding between want and don't want, the endless war between for and against. I like to call Mark Nepo the Emerson of the 21st century. He is the poet who became an essayist whose words of essay are pure poetry. But he speaks always to an inherent, ancient, wondrous truth about the unity of all things, the oneness of all things, and the way our hearts are centered, even as we move in different circles. Today's topic is revolutionary love. The theme this month that we've been working with is the idea of a holy, holy uprising, and what would it look like to rise up in an entirely sacred way. Holy, holy, entirely sacred. What would it look like if I began to live my life, to rise up from the muck and mire of the pandemic, to rise up out of the fear of separation and quarantining into a holy, sacred, an entirely sacred way of being in my world? To see through eyes that aren't judging. That's what this whole month is going to be dedicated to, is that idea. And last week, I kind of took us back to the basics, to the idea that there is one power, one source, one energy, one field. We can call it quantum physics, we can call it God, we can call it whatever we want. The danger is if we call it God, we can think of it as a guy out there instead of an energy and a force and an entire creative power that is making everything out of itself, that has made everything out of itself, that continues to make everything out of itself. And if that one power is all there is, if that one energy is all there is, what do I have to fear? If I and this energy and everything in this energy is all there is, what am I so stupidly afraid of? What is it that I am calling wrong? And there's another basic that I really today is about. And that is, since this energy is all it is, all there is, and it is love, everything, every want, every action, every word is either love or a cry for love. And what we have to remember is that the loudest and most desperate cries for love are often the ugliest, are often the least lovable, are often those things that make us react from that place of fear. And so we become unlovable right along with the unlovable cry. And both of us are crying out for love and getting angrier and angrier and angrier at one another. Oh, we are such a mess. So, Masato Hiroka wrote the outline for this week's talk, and I gathered a few ideas from him. I've taken this in a whole, well, not a whole different direction, but taken it my own way. But there were a couple of key things I really want to share with you, and that is, if you take radical, really far out, raucous, by God, radical, and put it with evolution, you come up with revolutionary. So it's a radical evolution, a radical change, a radical growth, which is revolutionary love. And there's a quote here from him that I just absolutely had to share with you verbatim because it speaks so fully to what it is this talk and our movement is all about. Revolutionary love invites us into a way of being a way of thinking, a way of feeling, and a way of acting that is rooted in our love for one another. Thinking, feeling, acting, being that is rooted in our love for one another. It is in this rising up of our consciousness that we rise up in revolutionary love for ourselves, for each other, and for the wholeness of life itself. This is the call. This is what our teaching is about. This is what Centers for Spiritual Living is for. Is rising up in a holy, holy way, in a totally sacred way, in an entirely sacred way, to connect by loving ourselves, each other, and the entirety of the universe. This is revolutionary love. Loving in the face of fear. Loving in the face of those cries for love that are so painfully right. Because you see, the thing of it is, if there's only one life, and that life is spirit, that life is the force, that life is the one. There are no others. I mean, I'm here and you're sitting over there and you're out there in the ethers. And so we would appear that we are different from one another, and we have words like other. But again, it's like that image of the wheel and the spokes that go back to the hub. We are all connected at the hub of life. And though the spokes go out, they're still all part of the one wheel. The waves in the ocean is vast. It covers 70% of our planet is water. 70% of our planet is the ocean. And a wave in the ocean is still part of the ocean. And whether you call it the Indian Ocean or the Pacific Ocean or the Atlantic Ocean or the Antarctic Ocean or whatever ocean name you give to it, it's still one ocean. And a wave in that ocean is still the ocean, expressing as a wave. I am me. I am spirit, expressing as me. Each of us is spirit, expressing as ourselves. But we're still spirit. There's only one. It's all one life, and it is exceedingly messy because we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and the human experience is messy. It's filled with joy, it's filled with pain, it's filled with sorrow, it's filled with wonder, it's filled with expansion, it's filled with contraction. And it's filled with ugly noises that our bodies make, and it's filled with delight, but it's messy. And my needs can sometimes spill over onto your needs, and that can create a distraction between us that makes us think we're not one. I had the absolute delight yesterday to attend an online thing on learning how dehumanization works and how to rehumanize one another, how to stop dehumanizing and find our common humanity. And I was introduced to, I mean, she wasn't there when we saw a video of this woman, Dia Khan. Her name is Deeyah, and her last name is Khan, Khan. But I recommend, she did an interview with Russell Brand, a podcast, and they showed little excerpts from it. This woman is brilliant. This woman she rocked my world in some of the things she said. Because her whole construct is revolutionary love. The idea that we love no matter what. And what she said, in this messiness that we are, the more we can get underneath the noise and the chaos of the world, the more we can get underneath the actions and the words that are cries for love, and come to the truth of our connection with one another, the more readily we can come up with solutions. But if all I'm doing is looking at the cover of the book, if all I'm doing is looking at the noise that's being made, and I'm not looking at the unmet need that is behind that noise, if I'm not stretching myself enough to see myself in this other being, I'm not connecting with God, with who God is, with Spirit, in my fellow life partner. Because every person on this planet who is alive right now is my life partner. We're sharing the same life experience. Because every one of us, even the most well-adjusted, has basic needs. We all have needs. We have a need to feel connected. We have a need to feel love. We have a need for food. We have a need for touch. We have a need. We all have these needs, no matter the biggest, blusteriest, strong guy and the tallest, tiniest, smallest, tiniest baby, all have the same basic needs for connection, for belonging. And what's happening is we're operating, each of us, no matter how adjusted we are, we're operating out of some of those needs not being met. And when those needs aren't being met, we're messy. We are not at our most polished, beautiful self. And if what's happening is we're being called to look for the humanity in the people who are being messy, as we look for the shadow in ourselves. To realize that when I'm seeing someone else's shadow, I need to be reminded that I have a shadow too. I need to look past that shadow. As Dia Khan says, look past, underneath, to get underneath the noise the shadow is making, to the truth of the need, and see how I can help it be met. I can't meet everybody's needs, but I can work with others to see that they get their needs met. And when others get their needs met, they don't have as much need to strike out. They don't have the fear. I can be part of the solution by offering the construct of revolutionary love, by loving what doesn't appear to be lovable, when I recognize that that lack of lovability is really a heartfelt, from the soul cry to be loved, to be connected, to be heard. Maybe all I need to do is to clear away my judgment, just for a moment, listen to the ugly stuff being said. No matter how much it might hurt, it's not about me. It's about the person speaking. The one doing the speaking is who it's about. When I speak out in anger and rage, it's about me. It's not about you. Even though I may be directing it at you, it's all about me. It's my fear, my lack, my unmet need that is being vocalized. And what I really just need is to be loved and to be heard. Revolutionary love is looking past the noise and finding a way not to love the action, not to love the words that are being said, but to love the sweet, tired soul underneath all that. that is part of who I am. What if it isn't about what I want, but about what's best for all of humanity? Yeah, it may be not comfortable to wear a mask, but if me wearing a mask saves one person from getting sick or dying, won't it be worth it? Angela Davis, Haley's husband, Daniel, posted something a week ago by a quote of Angela Davis, who I grew up in the 60s and 70s, and so Angela Davis was kind of an iconic figure for me. And this quote is what I'm going to close with today, because it is absolutely the ultimate truth of what it is we're speaking of. From Angela Davis: you have to act as if it were possible to radically transform the world. And you have to do it all the time. You have to act as if it were possible to radically transform the world. And you have to do it all the time. That, my friends, is revolutionary. To so believe that love is the power that will heal everything, that I am willing to have a revolutionary act of love by unhooking all of my reactionary buttons and be willing to let you let out all the pain you are feeling without trying to stop you, without trying to fix you, without trying to defend myself, but just simply let you have your say. And even though I don't love your words, to love the person enough to radically transform the world by helping them let go, helping you let go of that fear. I think it's time we gave it a try. Really, really do. And now I would like to call forth Kathy Day to come back and bless the offering, and then call up Haley Loren to come do another.
So if you look at your screen, you'll see that there's a bunch of different ways that you can give to support Center for Spiritual Living Eugene. I would like to thank all of you who have given and supported this center through this pandemic and before, have supported this center for 50 odd years, so that it was here when I moved into the area for me to join and become a part of, because it has been a blessing in my experience of life. So right now, I want you to hold your gift in your hand, or hold your hand over your heart, acknowledging your gift given whenever, by whatever means, to know that we are playing a part in the great circulation of life, in the giving and receiving, in the giving and receiving. And we give to those things that we wish to support and sustain, and to be present in our experience of life. And what we give is blessed, multiplied, does great work in the world, and returns to us, pressed down and overflowing. This is the promise of the divine, that is spoken about in many scriptures. We give and we receive, and we are blessed in both the giving and in our receiving. And what a gift it is. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you so much again for having me for this Mother's Day service, and love this topic of revolutionary love. I thought that this song might fit this particular theme pretty well. This is a song I used to do all the time when I was really young. It's by the Judds, and it's called Love Can Build a Bridge. I haven't done this one in many years. I'd gladly walk across the desert with no shoes upon my feet, to share with you the last bite of bread I had to eat. I would swim out to save you in your sea of broken dreams. When all your hopes are sinking, let me show you what love means. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Oh, don't you think it's time? I would whisper love so loudly every heart could understand that love and only love can join the tribes of man. I would give my heart's desire so that you might see. The first step is to realize that it all begins with you and me, that love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge, and don't you think it's time? Oh, don't you think it's time? When we stand together, oh, it's our finest hour. We can do anything, anything, if we keep believing in the power, in the power. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Oh, don't you think it's time? Oh, don't you think it's time? Oh, don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Thank you so much.
No, really, thank you. The blessing, one of the blessings of this pandemic, and there actually have been blessings in this pandemic, is that because she's not traveling all over the world right now, we get to have Haley every single month. We didn't usually only got her about every other month, and this has been a real blessing, is to have the fabulous Haley Loren at our service once a month, and I'm loving it. So it's time for the announcements. I know you've all been waiting with bated breath. While they're getting the slides up, I want to announce this Thursday from 9 to 1, we're having a garden day. We're having a bring your own tools, bring your own gloves, come hang out in the yard where it's nice and safe and outside, the fresh air, and we're going to pull weeds and clean things up. Just do whatever you move. We've got some ladders if anybody's feeling particularly strong and wants to go up and clean out the gutters, whatever we're doing, just come down and have a day of community with your friends, and I'll bring some snacks, and hopefully we'll be able to play well together. And you can see how beautiful the grounds are right now. The azaleas are blooming, the iris are blooming. It's the clematis. It's pretty amazing. You need to come. Of course, the weeds are also blooming, so that's one of the things we need to take care of. So right after the service at 11:15, there will be, next slide, the hangout, which the link is on the slide, but I believe they've also put it in the chat. And what it is you get a chance to spend a half hour, come together with members of the congregation, visit, catch up, figure out what's going on. I'm not sure. I think Kathy Day is hosting it this week, but I'm not sure. But go there and find out and enjoy yourself. Then this week, okay, go ahead. The coming up in June, we're almost there. It's less than a month to June 4th through the 6th, and the Beloved Connections Retreat, the women's retreat, is going to be online this year. Christy Snow, our beloved friend, Reverend Christy Snow, is going to be facilitating it. It will be Friday night, Saturday morning, afternoon, and evening, and Sunday morning. And the whole thing is $100, and it's an online. And you can make payments if you need to, but it's $100 is a pretty decent price. So go to the newsletter and get the link and hook up and with that. This week, the integrative yoga, I believe, is not happening. Sean is back east visiting with his daughter, and so that won't be happening this week. But Thursday morning, there will be the forgiveness meditation with Angela. And then I think she's also got we've got this Friday. This Friday, Kathy Day is hosting the game night, 5:30 to 7, online on Zoom. Go to the newsletter and also, or go to our Facebook group, and you'll find a link to that game night. And it's a lot of fun. You can play games online. And then this Saturday, and the date on that slide is wrong, it is the 15th, Saturday the 15th, from 9 to noon. Angela is doing one of her intuitive painting workshops on Zoom, and you can get information on that in the newsletter. And I think that's it for announcements, other than to announce that I love you. Thank you for filling out the survey. Those of you who have, those of you who haven't, please do so. And the couple of you that said you wanted to be part of the team, but you informed me in the little box that I already had your information. I'm sure I do, but these are blind surveys, so we don't know who you are. I'm sure I have your information, but I don't know who you are. So come back and let us know if you are interested in helping us set things up so we can start meeting together again. You are loved, you are cared for, you are in my heart. Thank you to Kevin and Liz and Kathy and John and Mike and Dale for their help getting all of this set up, and bless you for being you.